Well, good morning to you. Welcome to Up to the Minute. I'm Todd Duplantis. It is April the 8th. It's a Thursday, and it's a beautiful day out there. If you haven't been out lately, you may want to try to do so. It's a beautiful day. Brittany Pacheco is my co-host joining me this morning. Brittany, I'm sure you've been outside already, especially taking Luna out this morning.
Yeah, I have, Todd. It was actually really heavily dense fog this morning when I took her out. It was a little eerie, but sun's out. The fog has, disappeared. We're going to go with that one. Yes, it's a nice morning so far.
So we've got a good lineup for you on the show. A little bit of mishap. We were going to talk that 80s diner, Brittany, Hungry Like the Wolf. But the owner of the diner was going to be on the show. Apparently, he's a little under the weather. He got his second COVID shot, so he's feeling a little bit iffy right now. So we're going to bring him back on, get him on next week. So keep that in mind. We'll get Hungry Like the Wolf on next week. We got some great guests today. Before we get to that, why don't you remind people about our social media?
Yeah, definitely. And I hope Hungry Like a Wolf owner will feel better, because I was really looking forward to talking to him about, their menu and whatnot. But yes, before we get into today's show, because we do have a great show for you lined up regardless, take the time to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, and YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit that notification bell to be the first to find out the latest uploads from us. And last but not least, from our audience, we need your help to grow our audience, but just more importantly, share this information to those who are not following our social media pages. Now, how can I help, Brittany? You might ask. Just click that share button at the bottom of this broadcast. That way it pops up on your newsfeed. And Todd, let's get into today's show.
And of course, you forgot to mention your birthday's coming up again. Did you throw that out there? And you got a birthday list and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's now in 20 days.
20 days for those.
20 days.
All right. All right, Brittany, stick around. We'll check in with you later. It's Thursday, which is Thursday Virtual Family Fun Day here at Up to the Minute. We've got a special guest. Letty Luna is with the Children's Museum of Houston. Letty, good morning.
Good morning.
Good to see you. We're looking to learn all about the things going on out at Houston's Children's Museum. Stick around. We'll be with you in just a moment. But joining us this morning, we've got a special guest. She ran up to the batter's plate at the last minute as a substitution, and we appreciate her being here. Sharday Campbell is the Strategic Enrollment Communications and Social Media Manager, and she's joining us here on the show. Good morning to you, Sharday. How are you?
Good morning. I had to get camera ready real fast.
Well, we appreciate you jumping in at the last minute. I know you got a lot of wonderful things to talk about. One thing I want to ask you about is we're doing things a little bit differently this year, to get our students in class. We got the face-to-face coming back this summer, which a lot of students are excited about. But we've opened up the enrollment sessions earlier than we used to. Summer enrollment's going on right now, but guess what? Fall enrollment's going to start early next week.
It is. So, one thing that is always something that is great to give people is time. So we wanted to give people more time, explore their options. So summer registration is ongoing, and the mini session begins on May 17th. And it's a good option for any students that are transferring or coming home from the university and want to get in some classes in a quick 3 weeks. The summer registration continues. Fall registration, which begins in August, the classes begin in August, opens next Monday. And so let me say that louder for the people in the back. Fall registration begins next Monday. So put a pin in it. And as you said, we are going to be bringing back some safe in-person options for our students. So what that means is that we have a lot of learning options for students to choose from. You have online anytime, which is kind of that traditional online course, no scheduled lectures. You go at your pace and complete the coursework without ever having to step foot into a class. And then you have online on the schedule, which is flexible, but offers virtual lectures at scheduled times for those that want to remain virtual, but still want some instructor-led coursework. And then we're bringing back what's called hybrid, which was pre-COVID-19. I know it's hard. It's like pre-BC, before COVID. We had hybrid classes. And it's something like flex campuses that went away, but that means that you have to come in 50% face-to-face and 50% virtually. So that when you see that on your schedule, that's what that means. So we have hybrid labs and our traditional in-person safe face-to-face courses that have that traditional meeting pattern.
Sharday, let me ask you this, because a lot of people sign up and they're worried about finances. I mean, it's a normal thing. I mean, school costs a lot. I know HCC is very affordable, but it's still a big chunk for many people, especially if you're working full time and paying rent, car payments, all that type of stuff. Do you still have the payment plans available for students? Say you want to sign up for the fall, but I can't afford to pay everything right now. Do you still have those payment plans? Do they have longer time to pay that off? How does that work with this extended period of signing up?
Absolutely. So we, of course, have our payment plans, our installment payment plan options for students. They will have until, I believe it's August 6th right now, for fall to sign up for a payment plan, and without any concern about whether or not their classes will be held for payment. You can go ahead and sign up for fall on Monday, knowing that you can figure out how you're going to make those payment arrangements and get into early August to get that done. So I highly encourage people to consider those installment payment plans. But I want to reemphasize, you still have time to apply for financial aid.
Yeah.
So the beauty about
and scholarships as well, correct?
Excuse me. Huh?
I said in scholarships.
Oh, absolutely. Scholarships and for fall. And I think, a lot of people say, oh, well, I don't qualify for financial aid. I make too much, or I only go to school part-time. Part-time students, qualifying part-time students qualify for financial aid as well as full-time students. And I think a lot of what people don't realize is that HCC scholarships, like institutional scholarships, require the submission of a FAFSA. A lot of the emergency aid, federal and state grants that we're getting require you to have some type of financial aid application.
Right.
So even if you don't think you qualify, it is worth submitting your FAFSA. And we, in enrollment management, the District Office of Outreach and Recruitment, and I are partnering with financial aid to do have events to let students know just this. It's called College Money Moves. We're hosting them all month. April 11th, the first event is starting this Sunday. So we have events all month on Sunday, 30 minutes. Like, give us 30 minutes on a Sunday so you can learn what 10 types of aids you may qualify for financial aid. And we did it on Sunday for a reason, right? Like, if you have to go to work, if you can't get childcare, if your parents want to attend with you, Joellen Saucier and Financial Aid is giving up her Sundays. Executive Director of Financial Aid is coming in and pouring in her knowledge to students and their families. And if you attend, you're entered for a chance to win a $500 scholarship. So
you can watch that live online. Is there a link that we can give out to people?
Yes, I will drop the link in the chat for those who are interested. And definitely sign up and register. We're really encouraging students and reaching out to students current students who have not submitted a FAFSA application to attend this event and learn more about the benefits of financial aid and why they need to attend. So we're reaching out to our ISD partners. We're going to be promoting it on social media. So check your inbox, check those social media feeds that Brittany mentioned earlier to find out more. We're giving away $500 scholarships for each day that there's an event. So, there's a high chance you can win.
So we will put the link to that in the social media post for the show. Sharday, last semester, we did a campaign where we looked at focusing on bringing back current students, getting them enrolled. We called it the Secure Your Seat campaign. And I know you guys gave away a bunch of swag, including an iPad or a laptop. There was a lot of cool stuff. Maybe you can tell us, are you doing something like that again for the fall?
Absolutely. We did it this past spring. 11,000 students that we reached out to and let them know let them know what a chance they may win, but also just to encourage them to enroll early. Like there's so many benefits of not waiting. So that getting those current students to understand enrollment is open. And we had students win, the grand prize of 2 laptops, 2 iPads, a $250 gift card to the bookstore. And funny story, one of the winners was like so shocked that they got the email. They thought that it was a spam, that someone was trying to hyper-target. They sent a notice to IT and was like, is this real?
Yes, people really do win in these contests, and you had some lucky winners. Real quickly, Sharday, I know you guys are working on a hub for new students. Maybe you can real briefly tell us about that, because it's going to be a whole new experience for new people wanting to enroll at HCC.
Absolutely, led by our district outreach and recruitment manager, Vanessa. We recognize that virtual lobby is really getting current students the support they need to apply and enroll and connect to those wraparound services of counseling and ADA support and technology and tutoring. But our new students needed a special touch to understand those steps to really get onboarded to start here at HCC. So we have what's called a New Student Hub, and it's designed specifically for new students. It promotes recruitment events and make sure that new students' transition is as smooth and hassle-free as possible. So if you go to hccs.edu/new student hub, or it's in the green bar of every page on the website to get our new students connected to our recruiters and get the support they need.
Exciting things going on, but the main takeaway, folks, if you're going to register for the summer or the fall, register now. Register early. You can get all the benefits, the classes you want, the financial aid you need, maybe some scholarship money, but you got to register and fill out those forms. Sharday Campbell, thanks for joining us this morning. Stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you in person soon.
Yes. Take care. Thanks for the opportunity.
Thank you. All right, we're going to move on to the Children's Museum of Houston. Letty Luna is joining us. She's our Thursday Virtual Family Fun Day guest. Good morning to you, Letty. Thanks for being here this morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Now, the museum, I know that you guys had opened briefly, but then COVID concerns popped up again, like they've been doing this last year, and you had to close. What's the status of the museum now? Are you reopening? I imagine you're still closed, but what are you guys up to right now?
Yes, so last summer we did open up just for the summer. And then once fall came around, we really thought about, what are families going to be focusing on? And that really was education. And we knew that there were a lot of concerns of going back into school and doing virtual learning. So we focused all of our efforts to also move virtually. So then that way families could easily access the same learning programs that they have here at the museum, but from the comfort of their own home. So we launched All-Time Access, which is basically our virtual programming.
So you guys, like us, you're doing everything, a lot of stuff virtual, reaching into your, in our case, students, but in your case, families in the community. And you've got tours and live streams. Maybe you can tell us a bit about all the content that's available for families.
Absolutely. So whenever we actually closed back in March, the first time, we started what we called our daily virtual broadcast. And that was having 4 programs every single day that focused on different subjects. So everything from math and science to social studies. And if anyone's ever been to the museum, Kidtropolis is our mini city. That had a lot of content behind it. Yeah. But we added on to that with what you were mentioning, the 3D virtual field trips. And that is actually, you take a tour of our exhibits. And right now, I believe we have 4 exhibits that are live and then 1 in Spanish. But parents and kids can go through it and see the different components and what the focus is, what the learning part of that component is at the museum. So it kind of gives you an in-depth feeling of what we are trying to do here.
Can educators and teachers, I imagine, reach out to you for these live virtual tours and can the students interact with you as well?
Absolutely. So we are working with some ISDs on actual virtual tours. So they take the virtual tour by themselves, first explore the whatever exhibit they want. And then some of them have reached out to us, and we've been able to connect them directly with our educators to give them a live feel and actually do some experiments with us too.
That's cool. Tell me about something you've got on virtual workshops called My Projects.
Yes. So my projects actually started because of our Maker Annex space in the Invention Convention exhibit. It's basically kind of like it gives kids a feel of what engineers do every day. So there's a soldering tool, a 3D printer, basically big machinery that parents probably don't have at home. And some schools also probably find kind of difficult to bring into the classroom. But we used to have workshops during the week where parents would register their kids and bring them in. And it was specifically for kids that are 8 and older. But we took that and we made it virtual. So kids are basically coding at home with one of our educators that's showing them everything step by step on Tinkercad, but it's completely free. So families have definitely been enjoying that.
You also have launched an app for the Children's Museum of Houston?
Yes. So we had an app before, but it wasn't like a very, I guess, developed app. So what we've done is basically taken all of that virtual content that we've created. I believe now we're up to like 1,200 different videos and tutorials. And we've kind of made it easier for families to go through all of our content and find exactly what they're looking for, because we understand that it can be kind of, difficult to go through our YouTube page, which has thousands of videos, but it makes it easier for them as well.
And this content is available free once again on your social media. And where can people go to plug into all this content?
Absolutely. So you can find all the information about all-time access on our website, cmhouston.org. And that will give you a rundown of where everything is happening. The virtual workshops are on our event page on our website, but you can also find it on our Facebook channel. We announce things on Instagram and Twitter. So definitely follow us on all of those social media platforms.
The vaccinations are rolling out. A lot of families are starting to feel more comfortable about venturing out some. What are the plans for the museum? Are you guys going to be reopening this summer? And will you have any in-person workshops for kids?
We are so excited to announce that we are going to be reopening June 8th. So that's the official date, just in time for summer. And we will have some workshops. I believe if anyone's visited us, the BASF workshops that were more science and chemistry driven, those are coming back this summer. So those will be in person, of course, limited availability, but we're trying to work out the details and see how many times a week we can offer them so we get as many families in.
And I imagine you'll still have safety precautions in place. Do people have to buy tickets online, or are you encouraging, will they have to wear a mask? How's that all going to work?
Absolutely. So we are requiring visitors to wear a mask. We're still following CDC basically recommendations, and also the American Pediatrics Association, which is children 2 and older must wear a mask. But of course, we're constantly watching those guidelines and those recommendations. We are going to be doing limited entry with timed entry still included. We're definitely encouraging families to look. I believe the launch date for tickets is in May. So we're going to be putting those time slots up. But we are going to be reserving a few for walk-ups. So there is still a chance that if you aren't able to reserve online, that you might still be able to get something whenever you come directly to the museum.
Letty Luna from Children's Museum of Houston. Folks, if you're interested in their content, their video channel, or getting tickets when they do open, when they reopen, we'll have their link in our social media post for the show. Thanks for joining us, Letty.
Thank you so much for having me.
All right. We are going to move on to Brittany Pacheco with our news and announcements. Brittany, looks like today we've got Dr. Kleinberg, who will be hosting a virtual discussion. And folks, if you haven't seen Dr. Kleinberg, he is a fascinating speaker. He'll come up with facts you never even thought you needed to know, but they're very pertinent and important things to know. It's going to be a great speech.
That's right. So HCC will host a virtual discussion on the future direction of HCC with keynote speaker Dr. Stephen Kleinberg, founding director of Rice University's Kinder Institute. Now that virtual discussion is called Embracing Student Success. Now that is going on today and tomorrow. So we'll have a link in the post after the show so that you can register.
All right, we are recognizing the mental health care needs of others. HCC's Katie Psi Kappa and Psi Beta are joining forces virtually to make greeting cards for those in inpatient mental health services. Students can make cards, hang out, share ideas, and of course, relax. The next session is 7 p.m. Saturday, April the 10th. For more information, we'll have a link in the social media post for the show. Okay, rec sports, one of Brittany's favorite departments, because if you go to the rec sports events, especially the exercise ones, look to all the participants. Brittany's usually there, and they've got a walkathon coming up, Brittany.
Yeah, that's one I don't participate in, Todd. I know that you're huge on Zumba and the twerk out, with the V sisters. So
yeah, well, we got Sharday on with us still. Sharday, have you gone to any of these rec sports? Because they've got a lot of events going on.
Well, I am the one responsible for helping them promote it. I will say that. And they get real creative. It's been, if you think about trying to do fitness and sports virtually, they have really tapped into doing it differently. So yeah, I mean, they have some good stuff. And yeah, why not work out virtually? Don't go to a gym, but they have a whole array of it. So make sure you check that out. I'm glad to see that both of y'all are aligning your interests with your attendance.
Brittany is more active in it. And Brittany, did you say you don't play Fortnite or you do play Fortnite?
Oh, I will never play Fortnite.
You will never play Fortnite. Then you're not going to be taking place in the Fortnite competition they have coming up.
Yeah, well, the Fortnite competition, you can win up to $100 in prizes. The deadline to register is next Monday, April 12th at noon. This is open to students, faculty, and staff. But the catch is, y'all, only students can win the prize. So Students, I'm looking at you.
So that means Frank cannot win the prizes, despite the fact that he said he could beat anyone in games.
I don't put it past Frank. I mean, he can be competitive, it is what it is. But yeah, so the walkathon, did we already talk about this? Sorry, y'all.
Yeah, we're moving on. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So that's fine. But for more information about rec sports, you can email them simply sports@hccs.edu. And they do have their social media pages as well. Just be sure to look out for it.
All right. Mental wellness support. HCC Central's free mental wellness student support groups provide safe spaces to gain life coping skills and emotional support. Very important subject. The next one is 5 p.m. Thursday, April 15th. That's next week for those of you keeping score. Check the HCC Central Facebook link in our post after the show to register. Ideas pitch competition. Brittany, it seems like it's been going on forever, but it really will come to an end at the end of the month.
That's right. So HCC student individuals or teams, emphasis on both, can share their ideas and innovations for sustainability and societal needs by pitching a product or service. Entries must be submitted between now and April 30th. So you just have a few more days left in the month to, get that submitted. Go to hccs.edu/pitch for more information.
And payment options are available. We went over this earlier, but if you are signing up for the spring or the summer, I should say, summer sessions, or the fall, which registration begins on Monday, payment options are available. All you have to do is get a hold of the financial aid department. We'll have the link to their department and also their email address in the social media post for the show. Getting ready to graduate. Sharday may know more about this, but apparently Sharday, the financial aid department, is working with students because sooner or later, you got to pay off these student loans.
Well, about 6 months after you graduate, you get with either a little love letter or a little "Hey, big head" text from the Department of Ed. Brittany almost lost it, and it lets you know, hey, we're gonna need to go ahead and get you started on the payments. I think the best thing to know is that there are payments. There are options based upon where you're working for a public service loan forgiveness. There's options to defer if you aren't making income or for other reasons. So it's best to connect with financial aid. The financial coaches know how to coach someone to navigate the student loan process. Yeah. And if you're planning to transfer and you're enrolling in another university, as long as you stay enrolled for 6 hours at some college or university, you don't go into repayment status. So learning your options and really what you need to take those next steps to not, leave the Department of Ed on red in your inbox will be your best bet.
Yeah, and there are a lot. I'm glad you brought that up because there are a lot of options for students. And, you mentioned deferral. And one thing you got to watch with deferral, because you know this, but you can defer your payment, but that doesn't defer the interest. So you may not be paying, but your interest could still be growing on the loan. So you got to be very well educated. It sounds like what these sessions are for, or really to educate our students.
Absolutely. And if you're transferring, like I said, understanding the difference between the loans, because there are loans that the interest doesn't start until you graduate. Yeah. And there are loans where the interest starts as soon as you take it out and is dispersed. So understanding loans, period, as you navigate the process, if you need to rely on them for to pay for college, is like starting early and then understanding your options. Those are the best bet. That's the best bet.
All right, folks, check the district Facebook page or the link in this show after we post it, after the end of the show, for more information. We talked about new courses delivery, Brittany, earlier, but the main thing is that one website you can go to register for the spring, or the summer, I should say, and the fall.
That's right. And we want to emphasize that summer registration is currently underway. And to register and to learn about our HCC programs, you can go to hccs.edu/now. Don't wait until the last minute to secure your classes, y'all. As a former student, you want to make sure that you've secured those classes, especially with the new modalities that we're offering, because they are going to be smaller class sizes for face-to-face classes. So once again, head over to hccs.edu/now to register.
All right, we're about to wrap up today's show. Tomorrow is Friday, which is Film Fridays, and also #Frank on Fridays. Frank Cooper will be my co-host. He'll be here. You thought that was funny?
That was cute. Cute. I like that.
All right. Okay. I thought you were laughing at Frank, so I was going to.
I mean, it's Frank. It's bound to happen.
He's not going to be happy with that. Anyway, tomorrow we've got Alfred Cervantes of the Houston Film Commission, who tell us why our town is such a great location to invite Hollywood to make its movies. We'll learn more about that tomorrow. And we got a guest from Coleman.
That's right. So HCC Coleman College for Health Sciences has been a big player in offering vaccines in Houston. So the Coleman COO, Dr. Diana Castillo, will step away from another big Johnson & Johnson effort tomorrow to come and speak with us. So that's going to be very exciting because our students, as we've mentioned, have been playing a big role in offering vaccines here in Houston.
And Johnson & Johnson, as in the vaccine, of course. And I know our students have been giving out those doses. They're trained for this. They're getting real world experience and also helping the community. We'll learn more about their efforts tomorrow on Up to the Minute. All right. Thanks to everyone for being on the show. Sharday, thanks for jumping in at the last minute and helping us out.
No problem.
All right. And Brittany, we will see you next week. Most importantly, though, we will see all of you tomorrow right here live, 10 a.m. Up to the Minute. See you then.
Go Astros.